I would like to welcome you to the Street Art for Changing Cultures panel. We have with us Mr. Nikos Ververidis, the founder of elCulture and creator of Generation 17 project. Let's take a look at it.
Όλα ξεκινούν από την πρόσβαση στη γνώση. Ραπάρω η ψυχή μου να ματώσει. Κι όποιος νιώσει η φτώχεια να εξαλειφθεί άμεσα και η πείνα του διαφορετικού, ο φόβος να δεθεί σε καραντίνα. Ισότητα του γένους των φίλων ανήλικοι, με θράσος τους καιρούς των αλλαγών. Θέλουμε οι πόλεις μας να είναι τοποί βιώσιμοι. Καμιά μορφή ζωής δεν πρέπει να είναι αναλώσιμη. Αξιοπρέπεια για όλους και τίμιες πληρωμές. Υγεία, εφημερία για νέους προοπτικές. Δράσεις για το κλίμα, τη στεριά και το νερό. Προερχόμαστε από τη φύση, της δείχνουμε σεβασμό. Οξυγόνο και αγάπη ζητάμε, όχι λεφτά. Ήρθαμε να μείνουμε, γενιά 17.
Generation 17, the 17 objectives of sustainable development set by United Nations, set through your eyes. Mr. Ververidis, how did you come up with this idea? First of all, it's a great pleasure to be with you here today, and thank you very much for the invitation. I would like to say the following. We all know, we in this panel, that during the last few years, the discussion about sustainable growth has become more topical. And this is proven, especially after the extreme natural phenomena and the natural disasters that we have experienced and which have become the rule. That's why we decided to launch an initiative, an action that aims at communicating and conveying the need and necessity to reach the sustainable development goals of the United Nations. My personal view about that is that the SDGs are a necessity, a necessary utopia if we want to ensure a better future. We're talking with Nikos about street art, urban art, an art that we love, we hate, we don't know how to interpret. The fact is that it is an art that is based on the word of mouth, that is inspired by neighborhoods. The mayor previously said that we have hundreds of neighborhoods in Athens. So, Nikos, this grassroots culture, which is very strong in our society, in our cities, does it have any similarities with the popular art of the past? Look, street art is a modern form of art, and as such, it is a form of expression that takes place mostly in public spaces. This is where we come across street art. Before it becomes accepted as a form of art, its techniques and its orientations and directions were based on the word of mouth. So in that sense, yes, it has the features of the popular art of the past. Now, with regard to the popular arts, I believe that the more popular it becomes, it will eventually become an established form of modern art. So how the thematology of street art is linked to urban culture and to the topic of today's discussion, sustainable city. Okay. Street art starts from grassroots, and it is being expressed in the modern urban environment. So as such, its thematology, its main thematology, has to do with how people perceive life in the cities. This is its thematology, but we should not forget that it is a form of expression, since it is an art. It is very important also to underline that it breaks the isolation and enhances communication. Yes, I would like to talk about isolation and the solitude of the grey cities. Yes, it disrupts isolation, it enhances participation, and it promotes color that makes our cities more beautiful, make our lives more beautiful. The works of art, which can be found in a public space, as I said, give a positive note to our daily life. Very often in other cities, not in Athens, in other European cities and also in American cities and in Latin American cities, street art has become the way to upgrade the living standards in cities. I would love to hear how this Generation 17 project unfolds. This project that is based on the 17 SDGs and puts them into practice. We have three basic directions. The first is through a series of documentaries that have become a TV show, we are trying to approach each goal separately. We have approached people with knowledge with regard to the SDGs, and we have long experience. By the way, next week you will see the first episode of this TV show. The Generation 17 has a dual role to play. The first role is to communicate the 17 SDGs, and secondly, to reach the younger generations. That's why we have used 17. So Generation Z, yes, Generation Z. All the problems of the Generation Z, all the challenges that it is faced with. Yes, the mayor has talked about these challenges. They are legion, and the time is of essence. We don't have much time. So that is why we have opted more for a modern way of approaching this young generation. What we did was to approach young street artists as well as established street artists. The point is that the average age is quite low, and in the context of their own actions to adopt certain goals and to create works of art related to these goals. We wanted, in other words, through these works of art related to the goals, to make our cities more beautiful. And which are the axes on which the project is based? You mean urban? I mean the works, the forms of art. First of all, we are talking about the artistic side per se, which I believe will soon be completed, because you can understand that creating these works of art is something very challenging, since the dimensions are huge. So these artistic projects will soon be completed. And the second part is music. We have approached hip-hop musicians, which are inextricably linked with street art, and we asked them to compose original songs. Most of these musicians have a lot of fans and friends in the social media, which means that, again, by word of mouth, they can make their work of art and the SDGs more known to people. And lately, we have taken a step further. We have entered into a partnership with the biggest philharmonic orchestra in Greece, the Orchestra of Earth Channel, of the National Channel. And in the context of that collaboration, we have created a hybrid form of music, symphonic rap. And we hope that as of next year, we will be able to organize a tour with these artists, with the symphonic orchestra, in order to have concerts in open spaces, public spaces, and then to create 17 video clips, one video clip for each SDG. So symphonic rap, wow. I knew about symphonic rock. I was listening to symphonic rock, but this is something different. Maybe this is something unprecedented. Yes, yes, because now we have even a wider audience. Okay, let's take a look at the SDGs. Let's see how you approach them. You talked about the way in which we try to make our life less grey by using street art, how we're trying to become a team, how we are trying to resist to the nihilism of rap culture by promoting a necessary utopia, again by using rap. And now, let's talk with the curator of the musical version of the project, Mr. Panoilias. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Christos. Very briefly, could you please talk about hip-hop and rap? Yes. Let's say that hip-hop is a culture that has fans all around the world. It is a huge global phenomenon, and the musical expression of hip-hop is rap. It is a type of music that talks directly to the hearts of children, to students of high schools, of universities. It is the #1 music in terms of consumption all around the world, Greece included. I have a question. The rappers, are they the modern poets or the devil? The rappers are modern people. And as Iraklis said about the path of virtue and about the path of evil, if we say that we is the virtue and I is the evil, we have rappers now that are opting for the we. Look, I believe that during the last 10, 15 years, rappers have been stigmatized. And this, of course, will leave something behind. We will see in the future how and if this will change. Can rap make the world a better place? For my generation, this may sound a little bit strange. Shall we take a look at how this can be done?
We'll try to whether rap can make the world better. So we'll start talking and wondering who is the world? What is the world? Perhaps my world is not ideal or maybe ideal. I was bequeathed this world to pass it on, and we make some steps behind, steadily, walking to the future. And we live at an era which is the years of individualism. It is the era of the Sagittarius. It is the bearing of innocence at the years of oneself. It is a century of spiritual paucity. We try to find sanctum from our screens that they remind us that we're all alone. Unfortunately, this is a poem which cannot be rendered prima vista. Through the booth, we do our best. We seek our place in the world, and eventually we say, is this the world ideal or is it something borrowed? Where are we moving to? There are strange and curious days I can't write, where I feel drowned, where I feel I'm lost in nothing and I remember nothing. Yet those days that go by are a divine gift. They don't come back. Please give me a smile and express yourself. I'm yours. The one who offers love is the one that really can dream and really get loved and feel in love, because humanity is not lost. Sentiments and emotions are not lost. They are just in paucity in these insane cities. We all have a child within us that is virgin and that is innocent. And we spend our lives in the prisons of immaturity and egoism, individualism. But fight that. Look at the child in the eyes and smile. Smile the people you love. I thought of my son. And cry out, come close to me. Otherwise, you will have never lived. Can rap change the world? I don't know. I know that the world is not ideal. The world is something landed, however, something landed. We're all in it together. And we will move ahead, hand in hand, so as to do something. Are you coming with me? Let's go. think we got the reply whether rap is an art. Sustainable cities need not only technological infrastructure, they also need social resilience. Art that you unfolded today reminds us not to lose our human character, unites us and incites us. Nikos Ververidis, Christos Lath, thank you. Thanks a lot.